I was talking about personality development, what special we have to offer. Day before yesterday, we were discussing on the topic of relationship, art of managing relationships, and then also we had come to a discussion that there are some good qualities that every individual should have in his or her life, so that they can better manage relationships. So personality development, what special we have to offer as per Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita also gives a very interesting insight on the concept or the subject of personality development. Not just in one chapter, but there are many different chapters through which you can relate the concept of personality development from Bhagavad Gita. But we'll be focusing primarily on chapter 16, which talks about some good qualities of people who are endowed with divine qualities, and how we can develop those good qualities within us, and how we can then groom our personality, how we can deal in society when we are living. We have different set of people with whom we deal on in different hours, different time, different intervals. So we need to have certain good basic qualities by which we can check our position, where do we really stand as an individual. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namah. So today's personality development topic in itself is based on the subject of Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita can talk on any subject that we want to pick up or we want to understand in our day-to-day lifestyle. So everything is practical mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Everything is talking about life. It talks about spirituality. It talks about God. It covers everything. So that is why Bhagavad Gita is like it's a package deal when you can have access to anything that you really want to understand in detail. And for that, there are different levels. As you study more Bhagavad Gita, then you get more and more insights from time to time. So at every hour of reading, you may have a different level of understanding basis your inclination or the greed to know the depthness of the message that God is trying to give us, or God is looking forward to reveal that knowledge to us. So there is an old saying which I would quote, and then we'll take it further. It says, if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. And if character is lost, then everything is lost. This is an old saying that people used to follow and live with in their day-to-day lifestyle. But as we are progressing toward modern civilization, when a lot of material advancement is taking place, so this saying has been changed now. It has been molded. When now we say, if character is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, okay, fine, something is lost. But if money is lost, everything is lost. So we have changed character to money, money to character. So people are not conscious about building good character in their life. People are more conscious about building their empires, their assets, and money. That's the whole agenda of life. We'll see in this talk of today how it is happening and how people have forgotten certain basic values of life which everyone should have in their day-to-day lifestyles, so that they can live a life, or they can live a saintly life. Saintly life is not there in our society, more or less, in today's time. So we'll be discussing how we can have those qualities within us so that we can live a saintly life, and that basically represents the best personality of ourselves as an individual in our day-to-day lifestyle. Okay, so as a part of my practice, I'll be starting with a story of liquid beauty. So there was a young boy. he was attracted to a girl, and he wanted to marry her. So he proposed her that I like you very much and I want to marry you. So in our Indian culture, the old practice is that women are usually very chaste by nature. So when he proposed her, she thought, okay, let me teach her a let me teach him a lesson from external appearance. Or she was very beautiful, and the boy did not really had met the girl like couple of times, or he was not really much aware of her nature as such, but he was simply attracted by her external beauty. So she wanted to teach him a lesson, and she told him that, okay, you come to my house after 1 week, and then I'll confirm you, and then we can take a step towards your proposal for the marriage. So the boy becomes very happy, and then he goes back to his home, and then he starts planning, he starts thinking that after 1 week he'll be visiting her house. And the girl basically starts taking some she starts taking some preservatives. Every day she was taking some preservatives, and the effect of the preservatives was she was constantly vomiting, she was constantly losing her beauty, she was going to pass stool again and again. And what she was doing, she was keeping a stock of all those things, uh, stool which she was passing, and then whatever was coming out of her body, because she was taking these medications, and because of the medications everything was coming out of her body, and she was storing them in the boxes, as you can see here in the picture. So the boy comes on the seventh day, and he 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 gets onto the door, and he sees that a woman is sitting there, and then he tells that woman that I want to meet that girl. And so so that lady tells which girl you are talking about, and he says, that beautiful girl, she had promised me that after 1 week I can visit her, and then I can propose her, and then we can take forward the proposal for marriage. Then she tells, I am that same girl, and the boy gets surprised, and he tells, how you cannot be that same girl, because she was very beautiful. So that girl takes him to that uh, that different jars where she had stored these different stool, vomits, which she has stocked. And she tells to the boy, this is my beauty, I have stored the juices of my beauty into these containers. So still you are interested to marry me. So he gets surprised, and he gets a lesson out of it. So the lesson is that we cannot assess an individual, or we cannot determine the good qualities of a person based on his or her external appearance, or how he looks like, how he really talks to people, what is his way of behaving with the people in the society. That's not the key element or the key criteria of describing a person's good qualities or good personality, for that matter. So through this story we can learn a lesson that we should not try to assess or evaluate or judge people based on their external parameters, because the reality may be different than what they are showing on the face. And this is a common misconception in the society. We get attracted by the beauty, the external beauty, but external beauty is something which is like this lady proved to that man. This external beauty is, today it exists, tomorrow it may not exist anymore. So through that lady's lesson we can also get a lesson in our life, that we should not get pampered or enamored by the external beauty. In today's society, most of the people are most of the people are getting charmed or enamored or tempered by the external beauty, which may the external beauty is just temporary body external appearance, which may exist today, which may not exist after a certain period of time. So this is a story. Please keep this in mind. Please follow this in your life. And during the course of discussion, also we'll try to connect with this story, and then we can keep it as a lesson, which we can continue to follow. Srila Prabhupada, he used to quote this story quite often. He liked this story, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So, and I just picked it up from there. Okay, next. Now, traits of a person with a good personality. Now, we need to understand a difference between personality and character. Usually, we take them like both are alike. We consider personality and character as one and same thing. But there is a very slight difference between these two. Personality represents the inborn traits that a person carries, and character is something, the set of learned behavior or traits that we uh, we we learn over a period of time. So one is inborn traits, another is a set of learned behavior that we learn when we are living in the society. So traits of a person with good personality. Now, good personality and character, for the purpose of our discussion in this presentation, we can keep it as one, and we can develop the good qualities or our good personality by building these good qualities within us, or by building our character. So all these good qualities are nothing but a composition of our character, on the basis of which we interact with people in the society, and we carry a certain uh, image or reputation for that matter. So now Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, shloka 16.1, 2 and 3. There Krishna is talking about 26 qualities of a person who are of divine nature. Divine nature means people who are not just trying to exploit the material nature, but who are who are cultivating themselves to grow spiritually in their life, not just to grow materially, but to also grow spiritually. So there are 26 qualities, as I mentioned. Out of those 26 qualities, I have just picked couple of them, which we'll be just briefly discussing. So there are, out of 26, we have just picked 9 of them right now. So we are starting with the first, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita. That means cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Now, we are just talking about the qualities for now, and we will see how the modern society that we live in today, modern society doesn't have even a concept of these good qualities anywhere. So, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Unfortunately, we do not have any system in place by which we can regularly get spiritual knowledge. Akrodha, freedom from anger. If we see some people who are born with the quality of anger, but and they keep on getting angry on small matters or small issues, and that's where a lot of fractions comes within the relationship. But if the person is having some divine qualities, then he will be free from anger. Now, sometimes we see that devotees also become angry, or who are practicing the path of devotion, they also become angry. They become angry, but they use their anger for the service of the Lord. They are not using the anger for their own selfish pursuits or for their own selfish motives, or that they want to use the anger to control certain set of people for their own benefit. So they use the anger, but they use the anger for the right cause. We know the example of Hanuman in the pastimes of Lord Ram, when Hanuman used his anger to burn Lanka. Hanuman, he did not need to burn the Lanka, but he became angry. And out of his anger, he burned Lanka. Then next is Alolu Patvam, freedom from greed. Now, let us take an example. When we are growing in our corporate career or in any professional or a business sphere of our life, then what happens? We start building a greed. Greed can be taken with the help of an example. When we get a first job, in the first job, let's say we get a package of X amount, and we become very happy. We become very happy. Okay, we got a nice job to begin with, and then after say 6 months or 8 months or probably 1 year, then we get some offer from some other company to join. So we get a greed within us. Oh, now this is a good opportunity to explore. So our greed pushes, okay, let me go and explore that opportunity. So we don't even stand in one organization for a time, for a certain period of time. We want to shift to another organization. So this is the nature. We have a we have a propensity. We are greedy by nature. We want to jump from one to another to fulfill our own greedy desires. Then adroha, freedom from envy, enviousness. Now, I was talking to one person who is one of my business partner. So we are into this. We are into one of the business which is called as essential business, essential commodity business. So he was telling that his when he had started that business, his friends were telling, "Oh, what kind of business you have started? It's kind of strange. It doesn't really make sense." But then now we know currently the situation of the world, and in this current situation, people who are having essential businesses, only those businesses are currently going on. Other businesses are at least for the time being stopped. So he was telling now his friends are jealous of him because his business is still going on in spite of the current situation of the world. So this is called as enviousness or jealous. People have jealous when they see other people growing or when they see other people are kind of progressing in certain direction within their life. Then fifth comes Daya Bhuteshu. It is a very important principle. Mercy towards all living entities. It looks very nice. It looks very good on the face of it. Mercy towards all living entities. So in order to give mercy to other living entities or in order to be merciful on other living entities, we need to understand that we have got a mercy. We have got a mercy from God that we are getting an opportunity to know this message of Bhakti Yoga or the message of Bhagavad Gita. So when we start experiencing that mercy within us, then we look forward to share that mercy with others. So this is called as mercy towards all other living entities. So first we need to experience that mercy and then we start sharing that mercy with others. And if we do not share the mercy, we just can simply keep on taking the mercy from God, then the time will come when probably we will not be able to understand the importance of mercy that we are getting by God or by the devotees, the pure devotees of the Lord, who are giving us that mercy. That okay, yes, let us follow this path of knowledge by which we can become happy, peaceful, and live a satisfying lifestyle. Then next comes Shama, forgiveness. Forget and forgive. These are the two good qualities that one should have. So forgiveness. We know many times in the society when we live, there are people who do something or other which is not good, which is not right, at least on the face of it. Then we try to keep that within us, and we either stop interacting with that person, or we don't like that person, or we don't like to deal with that person anymore. But the people who are having the saintly qualities, who are living their life with saintly qualities, what they do, they tend to forgive, because this is a nature. This is the nature of a human being to commit mistake, and this is a nature of a divine human being to forgive when somebody is committing mistake. Then next comes danam, charity. Charity is again a topic. Charity can be of different kinds. Yes, now people are talking a lot about charity and doing some philanthropic activity. Uh, People are giving donations. People are uh, doing different. People are trying to serve the needy in this current need of hour by different means. But apart from all those different ways of charity, there is one charity, uh, and that charity is known as the charity of giving knowledge, gaining knowledge, then giving knowledge, which is in technical terms called as jnana dan. So uh, we should also consider that as charity. Giving knowledge is also a charity. It is not just uh, that when you give something in money, then it is a charity. So Jnanadan is also one of the charity, and in fact, it is superior charity than the charity of giving money. It is more far superior than the charity of the far superior than the giving charity in money. Now next is ati manita. Ati manita means expectation of honor. Expectation of honor means we see at times people go to different social gatherings, or participate people participate in different events. We have some special guest who comes there as a guest of honor, and those people usually expect, honor. And if you do not give them honor or special respect, then those people uh, probably do not like it. It's because somewhere or other their pride or their ego is not being satisfied. So people who are always expecting honor at different stages of their life, that means there is a problem. We need to get rid of this tendency of expecting honor at every or other stage of our life. The next is dama. Dama means controlling the mind. Now we all know it is one of the most difficult and a tedious task for an individual to control the mind. Like Krishna and Arjuna, when they were discussing in the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told Krishna that I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. It is almost difficult and impossible for me to control the mind. So controlling mind is a difficult thing. Then self-control is difficult. Self-control means as soon as we see something and we immediately starts getting attracted to it, in spite of knowing the fact that yes, it is not beneficial for us. So we don't have control. So we need to have a control, and this is how we can check a person, whether a person is having good qualities, or a person is having good character, or he is having a good personality. Then he need to have those set of 26 qualities. Okay, it might happen you may not have all the qualities on day one. It might happen that you may have 5 qualities, 6 qualities, 7 qualities, 10 qualities, but ultimately it is like an ornament of a devotee, or it is something that a devotee should carry with himself. He should always have these good qualities, and he should he should he should he should all these good qualities like acts like an ornament on the path of devotion. Whenever you are progressing on the path of devotion, gradually all these good qualities should start it should start becoming an ornament of your spiritual journey. And that's how you can also see, am I getting control of anger in my life? Am I getting control of being not Am I getting control of being free from greed, being free from envy, and am I doing something to give benefit to other people in the society? Because when we do something good for others in society, then we understand the value of self selflessness. Mostly we work on selfish platform, but once we start sacrificing, once we start doing things for others in our life, then we understand how much important it is to do to follow a life based on selflessness rather than following a life based on the principle of selfishness. So that is what we need to learn, because then only we will understand the and if you really want to, if you really want to experience a good valuable life, the experience that you get in giving things to others, you cannot get the experience of getting things. Giving is higher than taking, but the society works on a different tangent. Society works opposite. In society, people work towards taking things more and giving less back to the society. Society is altogether opposite of what is expected from society. We are having this tendency of exploiting. We are having a tendency of uh, just 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 see what in it for me. We have this tagline: just do it. If it is something coming for your benefit, just do it. Don't put your mind whether it is for the benefit of uh, other person or not, whether it can create some harm to the other person or not. It is irrelevant. Just do it. And that's how people try to live their life: just do it, just do it, just do it. And they keep on doing, keep on doing, and keep on doing. And the ultimate result is they bear the repercussions of it, because everything turns back. You cannot say, okay, I will keep on doing and things will fall in your favor all the time. Time will come when things will not fall in your favor, and then it will become difficult. And if any person who will be having these qualities, these are just nine. If you look at these references of all other qualities, if you will be building these good qualities, then you will not be disturbed by the situations that usually people go through in society, circumstances, problems while dealing with people in the society. So it is one of the secret of managing your relationship nicely with the people in the society. If you want to manage well with people, then you need to build these good qualities. If you will have these good qualities, you will be able to manage nicely with people. So that's why I connected it with my previous topic. So it is in continuation to that theme. Now comes a question. This is a very important subject. Now comes question of from where these qualities comes. What is the origin of these qualities? Now we are getting into the deeper insights of this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So in chapter 14, chapter 16, Lord Krishna talked about the qualities. 16.1, 2, and 3. Chapter 14, now Krishna is talking about three modes of material nature in chapter 14. In chapter 14, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Sattvam Rajastama iti guna prakrti sambhava nibadhananti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. So material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, Almighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So it is a very interesting shloka, and it is a very practical shloka. Let me help you to understand what Krishna is trying to explain to Arjuna. So material nature. One is material nature is what? Material nature is everything that we can see from our eyes is nothing but material nature. Everything that we can see is it can be categorized in material nature. Then it says material nature consists of three modes. There are three modes. In our Hindi technical terms, it is known as Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. These are the three modes of material nature. Uh, so here it is saying that these three modes of nature, when eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, eternal living entity means we as human being, whenever we come in the contact, as soon as we take birth in this material nature, the day we are actually born on a realistic side, the day we take birth, our date of birth is the time when we actually come into contact with this material nature. O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. As soon as we come in contact, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So now it's raining outside, and I'm going to quote one example that Srila Prabhupada used to quote. It's a very interesting example in the same regard. Srila Prabhupada says, we all are pure by nature. Just like when the raindrops, until the raindrops do not fall to the surface of the earth, the rainwater is pure. It has a natural purity of its own. But as soon as the rainwater falls to the ground, the purity of that water loses its value. It is no more pure. It becomes contaminated with this dust of the earth. Similarly, till the time we are not here in this material world, we are pure by nature. But as soon as we come in contact with this material nature, we become contaminated. Just like the water gets contaminated as soon as it comes in contact with earth. So material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, I'll give you a simple example to explain what is goodness, what is passion, and what is ignorance. And it is a very famous example which I have been hearing from many years, and it's very relevant and appropriate. So what it is saying first is that whatever qualities that we have, be it like we are forgiving people for their wrongdoing in our life if someone is impacting, or we don't have anger, or we are full of anger, or we don't have self-control, or we are self-controlled. So all these different permutations and combinations are nothing but it is coming because of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So it's like you can say permutations and combinations of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everything is happening in the permutation and combination of these three modes of material nature. And so I'll give you an example to help you to understand a difference between goodness, passion, and ignorance. So when a person is in mode of goodness, if let's say you are driving on a road, when you are in a mode of goodness, when you are driving on a road and it's little darker, you see you're going on you are going in your car, you see that there's a dark outside, and when you're driving, you see on the road there's something lying in front of you, and it is nothing but simply a rope. You stop your car, and when you are in mode of goodness, you will look at that rope, and you will see and understand it is simply a rope, nothing to worry. So a person who is in mode of goodness, he has a quality of seeing the things as they are. This is called as mode of goodness. The second is in mode of good passion. Mode of passion is okay. He sees the rope, he stops his car, he tries to go a little close to it, and he believes that he is in confusion. He thinks probably it is a rope, or it might be a snake also. So it is called as confused state of mind. when he is not clear whether it is a rope or it is a snake. And the person who is in mode of ignorance, how he will look at it? He will think, okay, fine. He sees, in reality, it is a rope, but as soon as he sees, he becomes afraid of it and he runs. And oh, it is a snake. But in reality, it is a rope. But because he is in ignorance, he completely looks at the reality from a different angle. He doesn't look at the reality as it is. He looks at the reality from an opposite angle of reality. So these are the three different propositions. Now there could be different permutations and combinations. Somebody, okay, people. Sometimes you may be in a situation you are sure that okay, fine, it is rope means it is rope. But then in next few minutes you may think, oh, I am in confusion. Maybe it is a rope or it is not a rope. It might be a snake also. And then in ignorance you are again confused. So it can be a combination. It can be different combinations, and it is very complex. The entire karma, the cycle of karma that we are carrying, the actions that we are performing in this world, is nothing but it is being driven by these three modes of material nature. Now, in Bhagavad Gita itself, uh, how do we now a question that arises in our mind: how do we how do we develop ourselves to be in always mode of goodness? It is expected that you should try to see the reality of the world as it is. For that, you need to establish yourself in mode of goodness. Definitely, then there is a concept of Shuddha Sattva also, which Krishna refers in Bhagavad Gita. So here we are talking about goodness for now. So for establishing ourselves in the mode of goodness, we need to do a couple of things. Will discuss all those aspects later. How we should we should work on a platform when we can try to live our life in mode of goodness rather than being enamored by or tempted by passion and ignorance. And the reality of today's world is more than 98%, I would say, more than 98% of the people falls into the third and second category, or a combination of third and second. That's it. Falling into the category of goodness is very, very rare. It is almost impossible to find people who live their life in mode of goodness. Very rare. So these are the three modes of nature, material nature, basis which we develop the good qualities of a human being that one should have. Now, different areas of personality development. In order to develop our image, in order to develop our well-being, in order to develop our personality, uh, I mean, there is one motivational Western speaker or a writer. He also conducts like workshops and all. He's quite famous there. So he has defined four different parameters, like physical, social, oblique emotional, mental, and spiritual. These are the four different areas of your well-being, you can say, or sharpen your saw. How we can do that? So he has talked about four different areas. So we understand when it comes to physical, we should do regular exercise. We should try to give some time when we are taking care of the physical part of our body. Then he is talking about social or emotional. Uh, Emotional is one interesting example that I would like to quote, which is quite practical. Emotionally, at times we do get disturbed, either because of people or maybe because of situations in our surrounding. We get emotionally disturbed. Uh, so the answer is we have to learn one fundamental rule of life, that you don't have to think that it is an abnormal situation. If you are getting emotionally disturbed from anything in your surroundings or in your life, it is normal. Try to accept it as it is normal. It is not abnormal. It is a word, and situations will go like this. You cannot say that it will not come on you. You are a part of the world, and you may also get impacted. So let us accept it as a normal pattern of our life. Yes, and then comes mental. Okay, people should read, visualize, plan, write, so that okay, this is what I want to do in my life. These are things that I really want to achieve. So I was working on like my own self development. Last couple of days I was thinking, these are some of the things which I need to implement in my life. It's like 11 pointers which I made. Like if I do that 11 things in my life on regular basis, then everything is successful, everything is perfect. Yes, definitely. uh, it is on the paper now. The action is yet to be implemented. So it will, I'm hoping that it should get implemented in gradual phase. And then the fourth one is the spiritual side. Spiritual side is, people should be grateful to whatever they possess in their life. It could be in terms of resources, it could be in terms of families, it could be in terms of friends, it could be in terms of association. People should be grateful to God. People should be grateful to whatever they have in today's scenario. Uh, and there is a saying which I always use, and I also personally follow it in my life. Whenever you think that you don't have much in your life, in terms of probably resources or your physical capabilities or physical strength, always try to look at the people who are down to you, in terms of, be it is social status or their physical capabilities or their physical strength. Always look, you know we always try to compare. Okay, fine, if you want to do compare, let's do a comparison. Why you just want to do a comparison with people who are at the top? Always always seek a balance. That no, you always have to do a, okay, you have to do a comparison with people who are on the top for your spiritual hankering, but you don't have to do a comparison with the people uh, on the top who are just hankering for material progress. So if you see some people who are not materially well situated, and if you ever feel yourself distracted or disturbed that I don't have too many things to possess in terms of resources, uh, I don't have good wealth with me. Look at the people who have nothing. Today only I was just passing by and I saw people are just standing on the streets for their turn to come to get the food. Such a difficult situation. But fortunately, maybe we all are not into that situation. So we need to learn people who are still there on the ground and having more difficulties across their life than what we have. So for that, we need to have that spiritual, the spiritual dimension open within us. Right now, the spiritual dimension is completely missing in the social system. Okay, so find people who have the same uh, hankering for life. So now you will see, when you are sitting in the society, you will see people have different set of hankering. Somebody is hankering for too much material prosperity. Someone is hankering for too much ambitious lifestyle. Somebody is hankering for uh, getting name, fame, and like puja, love, pratishta, three things. So people are working for different things. Somebody is working for this, somebody is working for this, somebody is working for this. But why do I need to work for what others are working for? Probably all those things what others are working for will ultimately will create problem for them. It is not an option. It is for sure that it will create problem for them. When we know that it is going to create a problem for them, why should I follow my track into that direction? So for that, we need to search, or we need to look out for that right set of people who has that understanding towards the life. No, we are not part of that masses who are just running in that direction. We are working on being a part of the classes who are working on this dimension in their life. It is difficult, but yes, if you'll find those people, then they will take your hand together, and the journey will become easier for both, not just for you, but for that person also who is progressing on that path of spirituality. So now these are the different areas of our wellness or personality development that you can define as. Now let us see what are the disconnects, some fundamental disconnects. Now, limitation of modern education system, modern system of our education. Now, we all live in a society. We all have studied something or other in our careers. Uh, Definitely, as I know about my own life, I have studied hard. I have really, I don't know for what reason, but I somehow was so much passionate that I want to do this. I want to do this in my career, and for that I did a lot of sacrifices. Anyhow, so but in my entire career of studies, whether it was my legal studies, it was financial studies, whatever I studied, nobody really talked about these values anywhere. Nobody touched upon these values, in spite of the fact that if I do a total combination of whatever I have studied and then obviously the spiritual studies, definitely material studies is still far higher than the spiritual studies, which I'm looking forward to do in my years to come. So, so when I try to make a comparison, in spiritual, there's so much to uplift myself at my individual personal level as a human being. And in material, though it is still so much, but still it doesn't have anything which I can really apply my in my own at my own personal individual level. This is a limitation. This is a big limitation of modern education system. We might have studied a lot of things, but those things have not really helped us to build these personal values, which we really called as personality development. We might have done different courses, but I don't think so. Really, what Krishna is trying to teach Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, those aspects are really touched upon anywhere which Krishna is touching upon. So this is one of the limitation of our education system, and as we are progressing, it is it is diminishing day by day, day by day, day by day. As we all know that we all have taken birth in India. When the time when I was studying, I remember in my school, in my own classes system, I had this Mahabharata, I had that Ramayana as one of the subject in the earlier years. But when I ask to my juniors or my youngers now, they don't have that subject anymore. So modern education system is nothing but it is taking us away from all those personal, moral, social, ethical, behavioral, individual values. And this is one of the biggest disconnect that we have. So, so from now a question that arises in our mind, and I always was really interested to know about it, and somehow I was doing some research some years back, maybe I think for 5 years now, and then that time I found something interesting, and this all you can read over. It's Lord Macaulay's address to the British Parliament, and it was done in 19th earlier 19th century, when he said that I've traveled across the length and breadth of India. So here he's basically telling that if Britishers, he's addressing it to the British Parliament. He's telling them that if we want to conquer Indians, then we have to replace their ancient education system and culture. And if we can do that, then only we can actually control India. Otherwise, there is no hope, there is no possibility for us to rule India. So this is one of the foundation, like this is a cut. This is one of the biggest cut that came across in our ancient Vedic education system, which was actually being introduced by Britishers. So it is a message of 19th century, the beginning years, and now you can see where we are actually. So nobody really bothers about what the ancient education system is. People are so much busy and focusing on modern English education system that they forgot about the ancient Vedic education system. And that was, if you look at this small address, you can easily understand it was nothing but a plot on how to conquer Indians and their values, and how to actually control them to the length and breadth. That was their plot, and they were successful in the plot, and finally we became slaves to that English education system. So people do call that, yes, we have got freedom, but in reality, we have not got the freedom yet, because we are still under this pressure of this modern Western education concept or lifestyle. It's not just education. Now everything is ingrained into our lifestyle in such a grave manner that we cannot even differentiate, or we cannot even make a demarcation between what is right and what is wrong from a cultural perspective. It is all lost. Everything is just in the air. Let us talk about conclusion. So personality development. We all want to have a good personality. When I talked about the good qualities based on this, some of the shlokas of Bhagavad-Gita, when God is talking about personality, yes, we all need to have a good personality. We need to have a good character. We need to have a good behavior when we are living in a society. What is happening? There is personality development that we want to have minus Vedic development. You want to minus Vedic development. So ultimate outcome is nothing but personality degradation. This is a small slide which I made a couple of years back, and I somehow liked it very much. It's actually going. We are actually fitting into this you can say small. How do we call this? It's a small exercise, you can say. Equation of life. You want to have good personality without Vedic development, we will ultimately end up into personality degradation. Now, what is that Vedic development? This is interesting, and let us see what is Vedic development. The Vedic development comes in our life at our doorstep when we start doing inquiry. That's what Srila Prabhupada referred from Vedanta Sutra. Athato Brahma Jikyasa. One should be inquisitive to know about self and super soul. That is that inquiry has to be there. That quest has to be there. The modern system actually has done nothing, but they have. Oh, we are kind of late. Modern system has done nothing, but it has quest. It has quash. This is a term called as quash. It has simply quest our quest for this Vedic development, because we are so much enamored and charmed by this personality of modern development or modern kind of lifestyle that we lost interest in the Vedic development. Okay, intended outcome of Vedic knowledge or Vedic development. What is the ultimate outcome? What we are trying to achieve? Okay, fine, we have a quest, we want to know what is going to be the outcome, what would be the result, that we all may ask. So we are running little ahead of the time. I mean, we are sorry, we are little short of the time. So we'll just try to wrap up in next 10 minutes. So intended outcome of Vedic knowledge: first, understand good qualities. Like we talked from Bhagavad Gita, some of those good qualities, people might not be even aware that these are the good qualities, the kind of society that we live in today. People might not have even idea ki, okay, these are the good qualities, these are the bad qualities. And Krishna, he focused in 3 shlokas on good qualities, and the rest of the entire book is talking on the bad qualities, the demoniac qualities. So his focus first is on divine qualities, and yet it is just crisp presented in 3 shlokas. Then he's focusing on demoniac qualities. So we need to know what are the demoniac qualities so that we can make a discrimination. And what we have discussed right now in terms of those 9 qualities, also it is just a very high level discussion, very high level of discussion. Okay, now understand your basic nature of not being a product of material nature. Your basic nature is not a product of material nature. Remember the example that I was quoting. By nature, by our basic nature, we all are pure spirit soul, and we all are, by default, we should have good qualities. Like I was giving example of that water, the rainwater, when before it falls down to the earth, it is pure. Similarly, we all are pure by our basic, based on our own basic nature. But we tend to forget our basic nature, and we get engrossed by our material nature, and then we forget. So understand in your life that we have to live our life based on our basic nature, but not the material nature. Practice to be in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness. Always learn to live your life in mode of goodness. Goodness is very important. Like I was explaining you the difference between goodness, passion, and ignorance. If you are in mode of goodness, if we try to live our life in mode of goodness, what would be the intended result? The intended result would be that we will try to see things as they are. That would be like, it will be like a vision. We will understand, okay, these are the good qualities, these are the bad qualities. I have to get myself out from these bad qualities, and I have to inculcate good qualities. Practice and live with good qualities by cultivating your relationship with God. Okay, now this is interesting point which I was discussing in my earlier presentation also. If you really want to develop good qualities, there are 2 ways. One is, okay, fine, you live with devotees, or you are surrounded by the company of devotees who have those good qualities, or who live their life with those good qualities. And obviously it may not be possible for us who are living in the family life to live with devotees whom might have good qualities, but at least, like, this is one of the mechanism of living with devotees who have good qualities, by sharing, okay, these are some of the good qualities that we should have based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So when I'm sharing these good qualities with you, so I don't know whether you are getting help from it or not, but at the end of the day, I am getting help from it, so that if I'm not following them, or if I'm following them up to a level, then at least I get a reminder, okay, I have to now move to the next level. So practice and live with good qualities by cultivating your relationship with God or the devotees of God. That is the expectation, that because as soon as you will come in contact with God, and the good qualities of God, God only has good qualities. His good qualities will start pouring into your own life eventually. This is the effect of relationship. That's what I was talking about. That when you are in contact with the higher energies, like people normally say higher energy, spirituality. When you are in contact with higher energies, the higher energies will dominate your inferior energies. That is what all spirituality is. So you have to learn that art, and that art is just by surrender, just by building your relationship on a day-to-day basis with God, you can actually be in a position of cultivating those good qualities, and then you can live a life full of divine qualities, and that is what is all about personality development. So, in a nutshell, what we all discussed, we started with a story, small note or story of that young boy and that woman. So the lesson that we got from that story is we should not be tempted by external beauty. Like sometimes, if we are living in the corporate world, we get tempted by people who are at the top ladder. Internally in their life, what they are doing is none of our business, but we are getting attracted because we look at, oh, they are at the top position, they are earning so much, they are living very aristocratic lifestyle, they are really like the star of the world, and we simply try to follow them. But what is the reality, we don't know, but we just see on the face and we start following them. It's not a good approach, it's not a right approach. So that's what I wanted to teach, that let us not try to see things on the surface, let us try to go into the deep of the things to understand what is the reality, and then follow those realities. And then we talked about those different good qualities that Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. We just picked a couple of them out of 26 qualities. You can refer it in Bhagavad Gita 16.1, 2, and 3. There you can easily get all the detailed references and understanding. Prabhupada is explaining them very nicely there. Then we talked about uh, the defects that we have in our modern education system. That in our modern education system, we do study a lot, but we do not get opportunity to study things by which we can actually gain personal upliftment in our day-to-day life. That is missing. It is like a missing link. Then we talked about personality development minus Vedic knowledge development ultimately leads to personality degradation only. So, what is that Vedic development? Vedic development is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and that's what we can actually do. Intended outcome of Vedic Athato Brahma Jigyasa is understand what the good qualities are, understand your basic nature, practice to be in mode of goodness, practice. And this one more point which I was talking about, the three modes of material nature. We need to know about them, and how does it impact in our day-to-day life, and how do we get into a specific mode. All these things we need to know, for which it's a different science altogether. We can talk about it later. One thing I would like to conclude with, and then I'll leave the floor open for question answers. Yesterday I was discussing with one of my devotee friend, so he was telling me that when we come on to the path of spirituality, then we start realizing the fact, okay, these are the bad qualities also within me. So initial journey of your spiritual life, then you start realizing, okay, this is the bad stock, this is a bad stock, this is a bad stock, this is a bad stock. And if you live with people from a material point of view, when you look at the people in the society, nobody really knows inside them how much bad stock they have. They always live in euphoria, and they always think that they only have good stock with them. They don't know how much bad stock is there with them. And in order to know that yes, we have bad stock, we have to have this we have to take shelter of spiritual knowledge, then only we'll be able to get to know, yes, that these are the bad stocks that we already have in our stock. All right, with this, I would like to conclude my session for today.